The Leafs lose Game 7 of the regular season 3-1 to the Vegas Golden Knights, moving to 4-3 on the season. Phil Kessel ties Keith Yandle for the Iron Man streak. William Nylander remains the most consistent player on this Maple Leafs team. Auston Matthews is still snake-bitten, and it might be time for Kyle Dubas and this management to come to grips and realize that this defensive core is not good enough to get us out of the first round, let alone win a Stanley Cup. Let's break it down. What's up, Leafs fans, and welcome back to Leafs Digest. As mentioned off the top, let's recap tonight's game, some of the events that took place. Toronto Maple Leafs dropping this one 3-1 to the Vegas Golden Knights, the second game of a 5-game road trip. They got to Vegas Saturday night after Winnipeg. They're going to be in Vegas for what looks like about 5 days before they head to San Jose and play the next game on Thursday night against our friend James Reimer, Optimus Rhyme. But until then, let's break down tonight's game. So starts off, this Leafs team looked like crap. There's no way around that one. They looked like crap from the start of the game till the very end, and it was a pathetic effort all around. Now, I know it's going to be, hey, this is only Game 7. Let's not jump on this team so early. But the thing that Leafs fans have seen year after year after year with this very exact team is pathetic, lost, disconnected, disinterested games. It's fine if you have the occasional stinker, but for it to happen this often for a team that should be so motivated to go out there and make some kind of difference with these superstar all-star players who are top tier and deserve all the money in the world, for them to have this much disinterest in a game so frequently becomes ridiculously frustrating. This game opens up with Vegas scoring a goal. Phil Kessel actually getting his 400th career goal on the power play, which gets called back because Sheldon Keefe and the coaching staff decide they're going to challenge it for offside. They successfully do so. It gets turned over. And then what happens? You'd think a team might be a little bit inspired. They go down early in a tough barn to play in on the road. Their coach calls a challenge for them, and he wins it, bringing it back to an even score. Nope. Of course this team doesn't respond. Why would they? They're the Toronto Maple Leafs. Vegas comes back down and scores almost earlier than they had even scored the other goal when it got moved back to the time that they went offside originally. Down 1-0 pretty quickly. Not much goes on from that point on. Vegas basically dominates this game. From there on out, the Leafs are nowhere in this one other than a few shifts where Auston Matthews actually basically just opens up a shooting gallery, and just starts firing away a bunch of shot attempts. Only landed a few on net there at the end of the game, or throughout the course of the game in total, but he did have one that should basically have been a goal, which was absolute highway robbery. He doesn't end up scoring on that one, so that was quite unfortunate, but the guy is snake-bitten. He is doing all the other things right, so I don't really mind it from that perspective, but it is a little bit unfortunate that he's not able to get some of these guys going with his energy, with him blocking shots, with him hitting, and being one of the leaders on the team throughout the beginning of the season in hits. You're watching your superstar Hart Trophy player go out there and block shots and lay hits consistently, and you can't get fired up to follow him up. That is pathetic. But aside from that, William Nylander late in the second period manages to tie it up. A great pass across from John Tavares and a skilled, powerful play from William Nylander, as he has remained one of the biggest workhorses on this team throughout the first 7 games of this season so far. Take that in. Did you think you would hear anybody utter the words, William Nylander is a workhorse? The guy has completely bought into back-checking, forechecking, corner battles, using his strength down low, using his legs, his speed, his size to get around guys and actually be somewhat of a dominant force out there. William Nylander has been the most consistent player on this Leafs team night in and night out. And he actually has these moments where he goes and just decides he's taking over, but it's not like, hey, I'm going to take over this shift and I'm going to take off next shift. He is right in there in the play, shift after shift after shift. I have been incredibly impressed with William Nylander and his effort on this team throughout this beginning of this season here, through the first 7 games of this season. So William Nylander ends up burying one basically through Logan Thompson. That's one he's probably going to want to have back, where it goes basically through his arm there, squeaks through, but still, nonetheless, tie game heading into the third period. And then nonsense ensues. The Leafs team, after getting William Nylander to power them back into this game, comes out and performs exactly how you would expect a Leafs team on the road in a tough barn to perform. Non-existent effort. Immediately out the gate, this team is hemmed in their own zone. Chance after chance after chance after chance. Vegas essentially at that point could have had about 3, maybe 4 goals before they finally actually score. And then on top of all of it, the way that they do score is Chandler Stevenson is able to basically dig the puck out from Samsonov in front of the net, turn around, put it into the empty net because no one is there to take him down. There's a massive defensive issue with this team. Massive. But we will get to that later. Finishing recapping off this game, after that point, it was Vegas all the way until basically the final couple of minutes when we got to see, prior to, for the third Vegas goal, Auston Matthews and Mitch Marner decide it was a convenient time for a change when the puck was only at the Vegas blue line. Giordano decides, hey, I might as well go with them. The 3 of them go off the ice. It appeared as though Bunting and Mete didn't realize that those guys went for a change as they continued to pursue the puck. Mete gets brought over to the boards, slip pass through to Amadio, former Leaf, and he breaks through up the middle on a breakaway and buries one past Samsonov. 3-1. I don't really blame Samsonov for this one. The guy still managed to put up 30 saves tonight, a .909 save percentage. You're continuing on. This is his 3rd straight game in the net, and that team hung him out to dry. The amount of chances they gave up, the amount of prime scoring opportunities they put in front of Samsonov tonight was absolutely pathetic. And there is no way around that. That is what it is. End of the game comes. Auston Matthews firing pucks away. But one of the most frustrating things, in my opinion, was you are down 2 goals. With a few minutes left, you get a power play. You are now up 2 men, and you are still looking for the perfect shot. At that point, you just got to be putting pucks on net and crashing the net. I didn't understand what was going on there until finally Matthews and Robertson just started shooting, and then they get the puck to Nylander and he shoots. But it's like until then, Riley, he's not going to shoot. Marner, he's not going to shoot. Tavares, he was not willing to shoot at that point after he'd come back from his injury. They were just looking for the perfect play. One interesting note, as we wrap up the game recap and start to dig into some of the subtopics here a little bit, the power play did switch something up that was interesting. They didn't do it for the entire time, but they did do it frequently throughout, and then they did it when they were up a man at the end there. They put Auston Matthews up top and just let him rip shots from up there. I don't think that that's where he's going to be most lethal. I think that that takes him out of it a little bit. He has a great shot. He's still going to be able to get them through, but one thing is evident coming out of that. They have clearly identified that their current 6 defensemen who are dressed in this lineup cannot shoot the damn puck and will not shoot the damn puck. So they said, hey, we got to put our guy up there who's going to score, who scored 60 last year because he can and he will shoot the puck. That is a problem. That is a massive, massive problem. Moving on, just touching on William Nylander quickly here before we move forward. Nylander I have been incredibly impressed with this guy. He continues to just be a beast. He looks like he's filled into his size. He's gotten used to it. He's grown comfortable in it, and he has looked really good so far. I've been really happy with William Nylander. As long as he can continue this on a consistent basis, William Nylander, to me, will be the most valuable contract that this Leafs team has, and one of the most untradeable pieces when you sit there and look at guys that you need to perform above their contract expectations. That is William Nylander right now. For Auston Matthews and his snake-bitten streak, I'm not overly concerned. That is a guy who will get it going. Last year, remember, he missed the first 6 games. Then he struggled a little bit, or didn't score, and he struggled a little bit to get going up with the scoring, and then he finally picks it up. And once he gets hot, he will be hot. He has chances. He's all over everything. He's blocking shots. He's playing physical. He's bought into a lot more of the team mentality. One thing to note that we've seen in the chats in the live stream is that everyone is feeling like Auston Matthews is playing a little more unselfishly. Maybe someone's just got to give him a kick in the ass and say, hey, brother, you scored 60 last year. Shoot the puck. But as far as the Matthews stuff goes, I'm not ready to hit the panic button yet. What I am ready to hit the panic button on, this team's defense. As much as everyone would love to say, let's go get Scott Mayfield, that won't change shit. This team defense sucks. They are soft. They are mediocre at best. Their third defenseman right now, because Jake Muzzin is injured, is one of the worst players we've probably ever seen lace up the blue and white. And the fact that they have this guy playing in a top 4 role on a team that they think could win the Stanley Cup is beyond ridiculous. This defense is trash. It has been this way for a long time, and we continue to fill in this roster with number 4, number 5, and number 6 defensemen and just say, that'll help. It's like the Flexi Seal commercial where you're just putting a patch over the massive hole in your water tank. Maybe it'll hold over for a month, but it ain't the full-time fix, that's for sure. Something needs to change. You cannot trade mid-tier / below average players for great players who will make an immediate impact on your team. It is time for this team to take some sort of drastic action, and I'm not saying this because of one game. This is a continuing conversation over the course of years. And they refuse to address it, running out the same 6 guys night after night after night. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. If Justin Holl is your third defenseman for 82 games of the season, for the 3rd straight season, and your defense has always sucked, maybe Justin Holl being in your top 4 isn't the answer. It's time to change things. It's time to get a top 4. It is time to make a move, and it is time to take action. The defense cannot do it. And if this remains the defense going into the playoffs, this Leafs team will not make it out of the first round. I strongly believe that. They are not good enough. Leafs fans, let us know in the comments below how you felt about this game here tonight. If you think my comments about the defense are accurate, how you feel about William Nylander, and if you are ready to hit the panic button on Auston Matthews and how he has been playing so far and the fact that he hasn't scored too many goals. As far as this game goes tonight, the Leafs go to 4-3 on the season, losing Game 7 of the regular season to the Vegas Golden Knights, dropping this one 3-1. The lone Leaf goal from William Nylander, assisted by John Tavares, Ilya Samsonov, 33 shots against, 30 saves, a .909 save percentage. This Leafs team gets out-hit, outshot, outplayed, outworked, out-hustled. Anything you could imagine, they lost in all of it. Tough one for the Leafs team tonight, but they are back at it again Thursday night against the San Jose Sharks. Leafs fans, tough sledding out there right now, but hopefully you enjoyed this recap. Hopefully you can find a way to get through some of these highlights. And as always, keep believing.